I'm gonna sit over here, but you drive.
Right.
Because you're giving control over a little bit.
Right.
But you gotta have the right person that's gonna have your safety,
Right.
your interest in heart. But then you gotta be able to, when you hire this person, you have to be able to train them properly.
Right.
So you have to train them, you have to break it down step by step. And you gotta keep in mind, most people will not work as hard as you will
Right.
in your business.
That's right.
Because this is your business.
Right.
They will come in and get their little check
Mm-hmm.
and they'll go home,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not thinking about your business on a Saturday and a Sunday.
Right.
They're not thinking about it.
Right.
You thinking about your business.
Right.
Because this has a direct result on your family and your kids and your overall well-being.
Right.
This is your baby.
That's right.
So that's number one. But if you hire the right employee, if you hire the right person and you train them properly,
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
So going back to your automated systems. So one thing that I like to do,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I make videotapes.
Okay.
So let's say on Monday she's gonna come in, she's gonna learn about the filing system.
Okay.
Record that session,
Okay.
okay? Record that session. You explain, okay, here's how we file, and here's why we filed this way.
Okay.
Again, here's what I want you to do,
Okay.
because this is what you want,
Right.
okay? All of this stuff is right here is basically, you know, what you want, right?
Okay.
This is about nobody else but you.
Okay.
I don't care what society tells you or what people tell you. That stuff don't matter. What
Right.
matter is what do you want,
Right.
not what do you need
Mm-hmm.
or what you should do
Mm-hmm.
or how you should do it. No, what do you want?
Right.
Because you got to put yourself first,
Right.
okay?
Okay.
See, most people right now, if you look at a business, okay? If you look at a business, most CEOs of business are here, and here, and here. They're working in the business.
Right.
Most CEOs will come in, they work in the business from the bottom to the top,
Mm-hmm.
just like an employee.
Right.
You get hired at a company. They say, hey, if you do well, man, you know what, we're going to raise you, we're going to give you an increase, boom, 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 so to give you hope.
Right.
And you come in there, you come in early. You do your job, whatever. You stay late.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 2 years go by, 3, and you're still getting the same thing. And all of a sudden they say, oh, okay, we're going to give you a raise $100.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is $100?
Yeah. For you.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So the thing is, okay, that, and then you say one day, well, you know what, I'm going to quit this business, I'm going to quit this job, I'm going to go start my own company, I'm going to go start my own business, because you got tired of being an employee,
Right.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
You showed initiative, you came in early, you showed initiative, you stayed late, you came in on the weekends, you did all these extra things for the boss,
Mm-hmm.
so he could give you a promotion.
Right.
Well, he did, but he gave you a very small, and you figure, well, you know what, I could do this, and I'm going to go open up my own company.
Mm-hmm.
So you decided to go open up your business.
Right.
But what you have done is you have transformed from an employee of this company to an employee of your own company.
Right.
Now you feel like, hey, I work for myself.
Right.
Exactly. You work for yourself.
Right.
That's an employee mindset.
Right.
A CEO of a business like Goldman Sachs,
Mm-hmm.
Bank of America, Microsoft, Cisco,
Mm-hmm.
you look at the PIMCO, Muhammad Ali,
Mm-hmm.
you look at Bill Gross,
Mm-hmm.
Warren Buffett,
Mm-hmm.
they're all over the world doing business.
Right.
And they're the CEO of their business.
Right.
How do you think they do it? How do you think they're able to go around, do all of this stuff, and not worry about their business? Well, how do you think they do it?
Well, they keep it in place and run the business.
Right.
Pretty much.
Through systems,
Right. Sister.
through processes,
Right.
right? So, and they got the right people.
Right.
So you have to think as a CEO, you're coming in to work on the business. You work on the business from the top down.
Right.
Okay, so you're working on, okay, what do I need? I need a system here. I need a process here. I need a system here. I need a process here. Okay. So what does the system look like? So you're looking down at it from a Like airplane, you look out the window,
Mm-hmm.
you're looking down at your business. You're looking
Right.
down on your life.
Right.
Because the end game in 5 years
Right.
is the end game.
That's right.
And every week is going to count.
Right.
Every single day is going to count
Right.
towards doing what? To creating systems and becoming better.
Right.
Right? So once you create this system,
Mm-hmm.
and then you create this video about showing her how to file and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's say 6 months later she quits
Mm-hmm.
or you fire her. Well, now you have this videotape.
Right.
You can play the videotape for the new employee
Mm-hmm.
while you're doing something else.
Right.
Now you've just did what? You've systemized a process.
Right.
So you didn't physically have to be there because you did it one time.
Right.
You recorded it, you created a system, and you put it away. And you do the same thing when you do your tax preparation.
Mm-hmm.
You create a videotape of it.
Right.
You do the same thing when you're doing cash management, naming cash. Once you create it,
Mm-hmm.
then it's just like going back to football.
Right.
When the football game is over, what they do, they go back and look at the film.
Right.
Why they look at the film?
See what they did right or wrong.
See what they did. How many times do you look at your life?
Mm-hmm.
How many times do I look at my life to see what I've done right and what I've done wrong?
So,
We don't.
yeah, we don't.
Because we don't want to beat ourselves up,
Right. That's right.
right?
That's right.
So again, so the thing about the videotape is once you create the system, you create the process, you know, you can pull the words out of there. You can have a manual,
Mm-hmm.
okay? You could create the sound out of there. You have a little iPod thing. You could, you know, whatever they do, all that stuff. You got the iPod thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could also have a DVD.
Right.
So now you have something for your human resource department. You have all your videotapes.
Mm-hmm.
For your accounting department, you have management, all your
Mhm.
bookkeeping videotapes.
Mm-hmm.
For your business development, you have
Mhm.
all your videotapes. So you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you create it once, and you have an automated system.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you're able to do it again through the system, through the videotapes, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So that's what it comes down to. Is for you to work less.
Mm-hmm.
Is for you to work less hours,
Right.
so you have more time with your family,
Right.
and you got more time to work on your game.
Okay.
So you go in to work on the business,
Not
not in the business. Okay, you have to you gotta make time for yourself. You gotta put your business to the side. You gotta put everything to the side, get everything out of your head, put it to the side. And you have to go into a space, that's your space.
Right.
And you gotta calm down,
Okay.
and you just gotta think. And you should do this every day for about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
You should just go to this place and just think.
Okay.
And just take, you know, like, okay, what happened yesterday?
Okay.
Kind of analyze what happened yesterday.
Okay.
What did I do? What happened? Okay, so here's, you know, you're looking at the week Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you're looking at Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. You're working backwards. You're always working
Mhm. backwards,
because that's going to happen, because you know what the end game is,
Right.
right? So if you know, okay, this week, Friday, Thursday, I'm going to do these things. Okay, Friday, I got to meet like 6 people by this day. All right, if I meet 6 people, we're going back to your business development, because
Mhm.
again, it's just you right now.
Right.
I'm going to make 30 phone calls. I'm going to make 30 phone calls. Okay, I'm going to call between 9 to 11. You see?
Mhm.
Okay, so once I do that, then I'm going to go and I'm going to create a job description.
Okay.
So create a job description of what I want. What I want this person to have that's going to come work in my business. It's going to come work in my house. What do I want this person to have? I want this person to be ethical,
Okay.
be smart. I want this person to bring value to my business.
Okay.
I don't want to waste my time teaching and educating them and creating value for them,
Right.
because they're just going to take that information and run with it,
Right.
and you have to come back to ground zero, start all over.
Oh, yeah.
Forget that.
Okay.
I want somebody that's going to come to my business, that's going to bring value to my business, that's going to help me do what? Help me become organized,
Okay.
help me create the systems,
Right.
help me create the processes, help me build my foundation. Right? So you need somebody that's going to bring value to you now.
Right.
Because that's who you're going to pay, because that becomes an investment.
Right.
not as an expense. That becomes investment
Right.
if you hire the right person.
Right.
So you have to think right now, okay, so don't think, okay, I'm the CEO and I need to hire somebody under me.
Right.
Most CEOs, that's where they go wrong,
Right.
because they want to wear the balls
Right.
on their chest like the big men.
Right.
It's not about that.
Right.
What this is about is family. It's about time. It's about your health.
Right.
It's about creating wealth. It's about creating systems.
Right.
It's about you sitting in the back seat with your lemonade while you got the driver driving you around.
Right.
That's what this is about.
Right.
This is not about titles or whatever.
Right.
You need to bring in the football team around you, get the best wide receiver, and the wide receiver has a purpose.
Right.
Get the best halfback, he's got a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Get the best quarterback, everybody's got a purpose.
Right.
Once you create a winning team,
Mm-hmm.
then it's no longer about you.
Right.
This is about your people that are helping you to meet your end game, your goals, your objectives, so you can get away from business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does this stuff make sense?
Makes a lot of sense to me. See, it's hit me in my head for where I am, you know. And sometimes I've had excuses why I didn't do this, that, and the other. And some of those excuses have been funding. You know, I look at it, you know, funding, and then I look back. I don't blame. I really don't. I'm not disappointed in my decision, because one of my decisions was early on when I had a lot of money. Let me put my daughter in a private school. And I don't regret that at all, because I got a client right now who does the same thing. You know, I don't regret it because my daughter turned out. That's, well, all right, let me make this sacrifice because my parents sacrificed for me to go to school.
Right.
So, you know, it's just money. And I always told myself, I'm healthy, I'll get back. And then I started thinking, well, all right, this it's time now, because my daughter's getting ready to go to school, she may go to Italy or somewhere, blah, blah, blah. But let me make sure I can get back to the base and do what I always want to do. Own the company, but take you out of the equation. See, when early on in my career, I had this CEO's mentality. I'm gonna make everybody work, blah, 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 blah. Just like you said, got my ball up here. You know, the hell with that. Now, you know, begin to look at reality. You know, it sits in your head. I sit down yesterday and look at this thing on Egypt about how the pharaohs built Egypt, how they all come up out of the Sahara Desert and went to upper Egypt. So when the Africans migrated, that's where all this stuff transformed. So it had not been for the drought, we may have never had Egypt. But the pharaohs never, and they just discussed, they said, well, they weren't slaves. These people took care of all the workers. The workers did very well. They found all these little apartments near the pyramid. And so they said, all these workers worked here. They lived very well. That they took care of them. But we was told a different story. So now they find that's not true. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys did all this without the technology we get.
No, you're right.
We ain't got no damn, they had no technology, man. They did all that without the technology we got, without the equipment, and they took care of their society was what it was. But the droughts came in. And I thought to myself, this is where I want to be at. I really want to be that CEO who's not, I don't even want my picture on nothing. I don't want my picture on the magazines, none of that. I just want to say, here's a team, here's my game plan, and let's see can we work this thing out. Here's what I'd like for you to do. When you get that document, I want you to make sure you got the right document. And put it, that's all I want to do. It's almost like automate, just like McDonald's.
Just like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Ron Crockett, just like McDonald's.
That's right.
Okay. If you think about something like this whole world, the entire world, is built on systems.
That's right.
The entire world.
That's right.
The way China, the U.S., India, Brazil, Japan, we're able to conduct business
Right.
all the time in the every single day environment.
Right.
Billions of dollars, trillions of dollars,
That's right.
hedge funds, okay, going back and forth
Right.
because there's systems. If there was no systems, okay, that wouldn't happen. So if you look at what happened 20 years ago, 1980,
Right.
they didn't have systems where there could be billions of dollars going around the world.
That's right.
But today, because of technology,
Right.
you can have billions of dollars going around the world. That's why we're in the mess that we're in, because it's a global
Right.
problem, not just a U.S. problem.
Right. That's right.
What happens in Europe has a direct impact in the U.S.
That's right.
And what happens in China has a direct impact. Everybody's intertwined now.
Right.
So when you look at this is good for us CEOs and business owners because our reach
Mm-hmm.
for our clientele is all over the world now.
Right.
We don't have to think, oh, we're just going to do business here in our backyard
Right.
or here in Largo, Maryland, or DC, but now we can do business in California.
Mm-hmm.
We can do business in New York. We can do business in North Carolina.
Mhm.
We can do business around the world because of the internet.
Right.
So you have to think of creating a product and a service
Mm-hmm.
which is not dependent on you,
That's right.
but have it go all over the United States. So you have to take your thinking to the next level.
Right.
So how many times have you actually thought that you could take your business around the world? How many times have you thought about that?
Be honest with you, only once.
Only one time. That's
Yeah.
because what happens is we get accustomed to here.
Right.
We think like this. We move like this. We're always looking at like what's in front of us.
Right.
We're short-minded.
Right.
We have to open up our thinking, right?
Right.
And most of us think about cash flow. Oh man, if we don't have the money, we can't do this. We don't have the money, we can't do this. We can't think like that.
And see, that's been one of my dilemmas. I've been thinking, all right, person, you only got $50,000, you can't do X, Y, Z.
Let me ask you something. So let's say that you as a CEO want to run around and raise money. You want to raise 200,000, 500,000, 600,000, $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
$10 million. You want to raise capital, somebody to give you money
Right.
to do what? To put it into your game plan.
Right.
Because your end goal is to retire in 5 years.
Right.
So you want somebody to say, hey, give me $1 million so I can put it into my dreams and my hopes and my business.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe in myself so much, I'm going to give you your money back plus 20%.
Right.
How many people will honestly give you money today?
Okay.
Nobody.
And I can think of, not even the banks.
Not even the banks.
Right.
Why not?
And then, for me, here's what I thought. And I approached the bank. Now, it could have been my mistake. I take something back. I went to a bank before who offered me $100,000.
Okay. What year was this?
It was about when I got started, about 10 years ago.
No, today's economy.
Right.
We're talking about 2012. January 23rd, 2012. How many people would actually give you money today in this economy?
Not very many.
Nobody, because the banks aren't lending.
Right.
The banks are giving money to who they want to give it
Right.
to.
Right.
But now, check this out. Let's rewind the tape. Everything I just said, let's rewind it.
Okay.
Take it all back.
Okay.
All right. Check this out. So now, you have systems.
Okay.
You have structure.
Okay.
You have organization.
Okay.
You have profit and loss.
Okay.
You got balance sheet. You have an income statement. You have a financial statement.
Mm-hmm.
You have executive summary. You have a well package
Mm-hmm.
of your business and of your last 5 years and 10 years of who you are, who you've been, what you've been doing about you and your bibliography.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have a nice package. Now you go to the institution.
Mm-hmm.
You say, okay, here's who I am. Here's what the business is.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I specialize in.
Okay.
And here is an opportunity that I'm bringing to the table.
Okay.
You have to bring something to the table
Right.
to make yourself unique and different.
Right.
In my cases, I buy houses
Okay.
and I buy buildings and I do real estate.
Okay.
I can't go to a bank and say, give me $1 million, give me $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
They won't. They'll be like, why?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But if I come to them like, look, here's a house right here.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to buy this house for $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put $50,000 into it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the neighborhood. This is a $600,000 neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to sell this thing over here for $450,000, $490,000.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take us 6 weeks to get done and get in and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an opportunity. Here's what's sold. Here's what's currently on the market. Now, if I go to the bank with an opportunity
Right.
and a business plan,
Mm-hmm.
do you think they'll give me money?
Yeah.
Why would they give me money?
Well, because they can look at their return on investment. You got a plan. You got a product. You got value there, and they can see a return on investment.
Exactly. So the same thing with us CEOs, right?
Right.
We're all business owners,
Right.
okay? We have to go to the banks because they've gotten smart.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost money just like the rest of us,
That's right.
okay? So they're being very cautious and careful
Mm-hmm.
in terms of who they lend money too,
Right.
and why.
That's right.
Right? They want to get their money, a return on their money too,
That's right.
because they want to move their money, but they want to move it with the right players.
Right.
So if you got a game, and you got an end game, and you got a plan, you got a system,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a good player,
Mm-hmm.
you can go approach them
Right.
with your game plan.
That's right.
So that's where all of this, that's what it goes down to. So what I do is, I do management coaching
Mm-hmm.
for CEOs and business owners.
Mm-hmm.
And I show you the reality, like the real stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I customize a plan for you,
Mm-hmm.
like just like football.
Okay.
The game is to win. I customize a plan for you, you know what I mean? And I give it to you, and then you say, look, either I'm in, or I'm gonna still play it safe.
Right. I'm not willing to do that.
That's what
I'm just telling you what my mindset is at.
Right.
The reason why I came back to talk with you that same when you talk with me is something you said to me, get me, I was like, and like I said before, we talked. This is where I'm planning on going. I've already told my daughter, I want to be out of this thing in 5 years, no less. Here's what I like to achieve. I like to have a complete company running, profitable, bottom line, jet black, nothing but money coming in. I can take me a check and get my butt out the way. And you can work in the system and get paid just like everybody else. That's what I want. That's what I like to achieve. Because I think I've learned enough, but I know too much, and what I do know is slowing me down. In other words, I haven't been able to take this other leap. Here I am, the CEO. I got control. I started laughing at myself when I came here yesterday. And I think about you. I got control of everything. And I just told myself, Preston, remember what your professor told you a long time ago. And I kept telling myself, I'm a damn fool in business. Not that I'm a damn fool, but anytime I think, and this is my thing, this keeps me going though. Anytime you do everything for yourself and by yourself while you're in business, you're a damn fool in business. And then I say to myself, why am I a damn fool? Well, I answer the phone, I do tax preparation, do all the accounting, I go pick up all the data. It's too much work. I mean, I was telling you about the guy, my client I met last week. It took me 5 hours to finish the damn bookkeeping. He waits, and this is a mistake I had. They wait until the last day and say, look, all right, here it is, December, I need you to do all my accounting work.
Right.
And what I do, I cram this shit all in 2 months, get it done, then go ask for a check. It's too much stress. So I started thinking to myself, when are you going to change your game plan? When are you going to have them go online? What I'm planning on doing, have everybody go online, print your checks in my system, and had it programmed so that when you write your checks and pay your bill, it automatically comes back to me. I can always download the financial instead of me doing all this bookkeeping shit.
Yeah.
It's too much. So there's a plan in place. I just got to get there. So I'm really curious about it. I really want to get to that point where I got everybody automated. This cloud system is out here. I've already got some systems set up where my client can log into the website and pull up their financials. I already got that set up. But I have not been able to get them to go there and just do everything. So, in other words, I'm not writing your checks. Like one of my guys want to be their CFO this come up year. He wants me to, look, I want you to write the checks and everything, which is fine because that means if I pay the check, it's already done. I don't worry about doing accounting work. And the key is to have them on this cloud system I got, this network I got. You log in on my website, you write your checks, and then and the accountant's already automatically done. That's the plan.
Right.
But starting last year with some of my clients, they have, and it could be almost like what I'm finding, like you telling about the CEO. I talk to the owners. Man, they so goddamn stuck in the past. It's like one of them told, man, they still get lost. So granted, it could be hacked, but at the same time, everybody's going there. And a lot of my clients don't want to go to this next generation. They don't want to go online and put everything out there. Their business out there. They're afraid of being hacked, their identity being stolen. And it's a big thing. I understand that.
Yeah, of course.
But if they're like me in some sense, they're kind of like stuck in the past. They prefer a person to go back and do the journal entry. It's just too much damn work.
But if you think about it, look, the internet is is a concern with security, social security numbers and stuff.
Right.
But it goes back to what you pay for. If you look for the cheapest solution,
right,
then your risk of getting a weak application is going to be higher. But if you pay for a well-known security that does encryption, that's been around for years, and that's what they specialize in, right? Then you won't have something to worry about, right? So the key here is we have to change our thinking. We got to get away from okay, I only want to pay this guy $8 or $7 or $10 or $12.
Right.
We want to get away from that.
Right.
Because what you pay is what you're gonna get.
Right.
Yeah, there's some specials where you hire somebody and you get away with paying them $8-9 an hour,
Mhm.
and they turn out to be a superstar.
Right.
It does happen. It's happened with me.
Mm-hmm.
But those are very rare.
Yeah. Right.
Those are very rare.
Yeah.
So you got to look at it like this. You want quality of a person next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You want a personal assistant next to you.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you want this personal assistant to have? You want this person to have at least 5, 7, 8 times more knowledge and experience than you in some of these areas.
Right. That's right.
Because you want them to be organized. You want them
Right.
to come in, create systems and processes.
Right.
Okay, it goes back to what you want. You want to get out of this.
Right.
And you want to get into the back seat. You want to be able to look at your business. So that's the type of person we got to get.
Right.
Right?
That's right. Because see, this right here will put me in that back seat you're talking about.
Exactly.
It take me right on out that office, and I can be right at home, go right on to the. I mean, and I keep bringing this up because I was thinking about you yesterday. I thought to myself, man, if I was at home and I had me you mentioned cloud to me when I came in, and you said personnel process. See, I listened very well. I said, no, he's talking about what I need to hear. Process, their system in place. And I'm thinking, now had I been set up right, if I needed anything, I would not have to come back out here Sunday. I could just run online, okay, I made 15, and I actually talked to myself yesterday. I said, look, this is how it's going to be played out, Preston. You're going to be at home somewhere, you're going to be in Vegas somewhere, you're going to be in California. If you want to know how many returns were done today, how many financial statements been signed, I need to know this, and I can be right at home. My CPA signed 200 audit reports today. Or you look at so-and-so, they did 2,000 tax returns this month. Oh, great. And I'm way somewhere else. My bottom line is, we made $400,000, I paid out $2. Here's the bottom line, I can write myself a check.
Exactly.
That's all I want to do.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm seeing, or I'm visualizing since me and you met. I mean, this has been a plan. Like I said, I got a system now that's trying to get me there. It's a very good system. It's expensive. And then there's QuickBooks, which is not expensive. And QuickBooks is going to the cloud, but the system I got can take me there. But
you're not using it right.
I'm not using it right. I'm using it only for me right now.
So usually, that's what happens. We buy all these things,
Right.
but we only use fraction of
That's
the
fraction of that's
features.
Right. There you go. That's right. That's what you have. See, just last year, I was able to master the login data process. I sit down. I said, let me sit down and read this stuff. I'm paying all this money. I sit down and read it. I said, this is how it should be done. So now I'm able to send a client to my website. Go right on that website, log here, here's your password. I know how to control it and all that. There's your password. Lord, there's your financial statement.
How long did it take you that I need to do this to get it done? How long did it take you to get it done?
It took me it took about at least 3 months.
3 months.
And I'm gonna tell you why it took me 3 months.
Because you're doing it by yourself.
That's right.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so we got to change all that. That's
Right.
why we're here. We're here to change all
Right.
this. Okay, so here's the thing. So today, did I provide value to you?
You did. Lots of value.
Lots of value.
Lots of structure. My organizational thought is better. I understand this process a lot better. I understand the whole. I understand all this right here. In that this is my mindset, and this is why I'm so confused, because this is how my mind is running. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, there's so many things I got to do. I already know I got to go ahead and talk to a client, so I'll call you when I get back in, blah, blah, blah. But this is more important to me. But this whole structure you got right now, it points everything out. Preston, you're the weakest link. I'm not weak, but I'm the weakest link in this system I'm trying to develop, because I'm in the damn way. And I can accept that. I mean, I really can accept the fact that you need to get out the way. Bring you somebody in who's smarter than you, can catch on quicker than you can run this damn thing and do exactly what you want to do at a high professional level. And I know it's going to take time, it's going to take some money. I understand that. But the big thing for me is to take me out of this equation this year. And that's going to happen. One way or the other, I'm going to push me out of this office. I plan to do that. And I plan to get some people in. I want to train. I'm a very good trainer. I want to train them and eventually train someone to train the staff and push me right on out that door. I don't do no training. I don't do anything at all. But go on that little website. We did, what was this? We did, here's our volume. Here's who had worked. Here's what they did. I'm reading executive summary and I'm gone.
Okay, so today's session,
Mm-hmm.
was I able to help you, your vision, your end
Right.
goal? Was I able to help you make it more clear,
Right. You help me understand the end game.
the end game?
The end game. You help me understand this way. I didn't see it. Let's see it. Doing it this way. And then the week breakdown. Every quarter, every week, something got to be going on. The motion you put. See, you kind of put something in motion in my head.
Right.
See, you know, there's a everything you do. There's a action and there's a reason.